Alicia, whose handle is Lord Aragorn, and they've each won one game in this match, and this is the final tiebreaker game to decide.
So,
Oh yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
yeah, I'd almost forgotten about this. Just it's been a while since we streamed the second game, but so I forgot to be excited. But I am now that we're getting to watch the final and find out who won because it's news to us.
Yes, yeah, yeah. To be clear, neither of us have seen this game, so we're gonna watch it, have our natural reactions to it, and then we'll show the video. So just to clarify how the sides were chosen, since this is the final tiebreaker game, whoever wins this game wins the whole championship. The tournament rules stated that players would bid dwarven rings, but both of the finalists preferred to use action tokens, and we've been experimenting in the community with using action tokens. I'll post a link to the action token rules in the description of the video, but they are, we think, a more balanced way of balancing the game, basically. And the players agreed that the Free People side would get 2 action tokens, and they would roll, and whoever rolled higher would get to pick which side. So they both agreed to that in advance. As the tournament organizer, I gave it my blessing. I think it's a great solution. And they rolled. Jason rolled higher, and he picked Shadow. So Jason is Shadow this game, and Alicia is Free. And this is the start of the game. So you can see Shadow has drawn New Power is Rising, and the Nautical Strike. Certainly good cards to start off with.
Yeah.
Free People have drawn some Ents. So let's see.
Scouts is a very good first one.
Exactly, an early
scout. To have one available early.
Absolutely. So Jason allocated 1 eye, rolled 2, and did not get a second muster. So only 1 muster round 1 is obviously not great for Shadow.
So these are good cards to have, but not to play for the Free People. So having the token to draw a card is pretty nice.
Yep, and it looks like that's exactly what Alicia is doing.
Unfortunately, it doesn't get a good one.
Drew a character card and still did not get anything playable. So that is certainly a little bit of bad luck, but
right. I think with 2 muster, actually, well, you want to play it with the Palantir, I suppose. But
no, I think you're totally right, Andrew. I think that's a great point. Why not draw a strategy card? And that way, if you cycle into more of them, you can make use of those musters. Yeah. I mean, another thing to consider, maybe it's a little aggressive, but instead of using the card draw, I might have considered using the muster and then getting Elves to
all the way to War.
Yeah, you could get Elves to War round 1.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. And the reason why I think probably both of us are saying only use 1 token, first of all, you're limited to only using 1 token per round, just like Elven Rings, but you probably want to save one of the tokens for the turn you're trying to get into Mordor, because that turns off a lot of cards. If you're 1 away from Mordor and then on the turn you go into Mordor, then the Shadow won't be able to play something like Cruel Weather and stall you if you start the turn 1 away. Anyway, so this was a card draw. Drew Ulukai, seems perfectly fine. And the Fellowship starts off moving and gets missed. Makes sense. Sauron. Interesting. So Jason mustered Sauron towards war and not Isengard towards war.
It's with just 1 muster, and I think Sauron at war is better if you have a lot of... You could maybe attack in turn 1. Although that's quite a bold go of it. But with New Powers Rising, I would probably just go for Saruman anyway, and just get Isengard in case you only roll 1 muster next turn as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If you only get 1 muster next round, then you're really stuck on 7 dice for quite some time. Though maybe, I mean, looking at these, there are 2 attacks, so I wonder if Jason's plan is to get this Dol Guldur army up to Woodland Realm nice and early, especially if you have this reinforcement. Then you have a little, a bit of a better chance to get up there. And without any army movements by the Free Peoples, even if they have something like scouts, they're not going to be able to get an army into Old Forest Road.
Yeah, getting into Old Forest Road is a good point.
Wow, look at that. Another unplayable card. right there. Yep, and here comes the army up to Old Forest Road.
I'd better do it. That's
The elves.
Yeah, here come the elves. Makes sense.
Yeah. So this is, I think this is fascinating. So the decisions right from the beginning of the game really mattered. If the elves had been put to war from, those 3 musters, you'd be able to get an extra elite into Woodland Realm before this army hits.
Yeah, so Aaliyah has moved the north down to stop Dale getting hit and still not being at war, I guess is the point.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I wonder if you want to, as free people, if you want to try and delay the Witch King a little, because that actually means a single attack into Dale is going to put the Witch King into play, but it does sort of baits the attack into Dale, and then you can use your scouts to get those units into
That's a good point,
which could be nice.
But then again, you could just attack the Woodland Realm and then take it and then take.
Right. What's the rush on taking Dale? Yeah, that's right. Good point. Yeah, I guess it depends how many attacks you need. If you only have 1 attack and a muster, then yeah, but you probably have more than 1 attack.
Oh, a second end already. That's difficult. Unless you get Gandalf quickly.
And now look, Shadow got an early swarm of bats, which is unlikely. But I think
patrol. So I was talking with Fox recently, and he had one of his games. He got 2 eyes right at the start and was very fearful because all these draw tile cards are suddenly much more powerful with few eyes in the. Because of course you always draw the eyes, but if you got 3 of them and only 2 eyes left, at least one of them's going to work.
Right.
So here's Saruman, or Isengard, aiming for Saruman.
Yeah, I wonder about that North muster. Was that really worth it? Like, I would be more tempted to get Gondor. I don't know. What am I really going to do, given how quickly this army moved up north?
Yeah. Like, it takes Dale, and then you can muster a unit in Carrick, and then not use it.
Yeah, I don't know what good it does to muster in Carrick there, but
yeah,
maybe.
It's also fair, it doesn't really get anything from mustering the elves again, because...
yeah, it's too late.
You've got plenty of time for something to attack Lorraine or whatever.
Right. Yeah, my inclination would be to go for Gondor at that point.
Yeah, so Gondor is probably a good shape with that. Here's all the Kai, as we thought.
All right. Then the Fellowship is going to move.
Yeah,
safe.
Jason has not got the all-seeing eye like last time.
Right.
Also, moving Nazgul together.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because he's not bringing in the Witch King yet.
Yeah, I'm very surprised by that. Why did we need to move Nazgul here? I would have waited 1 more, because I think the Fellowship is going to move again.
Yeah, to try and get...
Yeah, I think you can make the attack. Yeah, you can make the attack into Woodland Realm. Maybe his plan is to attack Dale. We'll see. All right, Fellowship moves again, gets missed. Okay. So Dale, but not playing the card, is very interesting, because you have Swarm of Bats. I guess the chances of free having a scouts are relatively low, but I think Alicia's going to be very happy to have the scouts.
Yeah. And he can play a card out of hand. Alwards.
Yep. All right, so it goes right into... Interesting.
The north, as it were. Does get the Witch King, but for... I suppose a bit later.
Yeah, so I guess... so Jason preferred to get the Witch King by defeating Dale and Carrick instead of something else. Instead of getting the elves to war, I guess.
I missed the safe move again. But,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
He did manage to move Fellowship.
Yep.
So he's attacking Carrick here, and uses the Swarm of Bats now.
Yeah.
I suppose if he had somehow had another scouts, getting those guys into Northern Mirkwood and then into Woodland Realm would be suddenly very dangerous.
Right. Right.
And at the very least, you get a lot of reroll potential.
So those were
So
3
there's
hits.
3 hits to wipe them out.
No, because shield wall is going to protect 1.
Well, not if it's cancelled by Storm Bats.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there you go. Consequences over. But you've spread out, and that's hard. It's doable, but hard to take Wooden Realm.
Oh,
Not easy, anyway.
wow. Using the
It's
action
gone
token
already.
here. I'm
You
very...
can get the elves to war. And then get another elite in there.
Right. Yeah, so you're giving up the action token. You're not going to move a 3rd time, but you're going to get to muster the elves at the start of next round. Interesting. All right, so Saruman shows up. The elves get all the way to war.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
bringing in Saruman instead of the Witch King.
Yeah, why not? If all things being equal. I think that makes sense. Can always bring in the Witch King later. Odds of getting at least 1 muster are quite high.
Well, I mean, with an army right about to attack, maybe I would say the Witch King is more useful.
But he's going to attack the Woodland Realm and it's going to go into siege, so it's not like that extra point of leadership is going to matter yet.
I suppose.
Right, I think what's going to happen is he'll put him under siege and then muster the Witch King into Woodland Realm before the attack happens. All right, 1 eye, 2 more eyes rolled.
And he gets the muster.
Yeah, and this would be a turn that I think Alicia would be happy
It's
to
a
see a Will of
difficult
the
one.
West to be able to get Gandalf now that Saruman's in play. But all right, he did get the muster that he wanted, and that's a pretty respectable
I was
army.
likely to do. Yeah, much harder.
Woodland Realm gets attacked. And that's interesting. That was using the character die. I would be slightly tempted to use the army die there.
It does have hill trolls to play with.
Right.
An army instead. But
Yeah, that's true. All right, Fellowship move.
it's also got... Actually, well, he wants to attack. Well, surely. Well, maybe not so surely.
Safe movement.
Still
on that
safe.
one.
Gosh, with these 3 eyes and it doesn't produce anything, it can be hard. So here's the Witch King.
Move the Fellowship again. Caught this
A
time.
hit.
And
Alright.
revealed.
On the
Alright.
5th move, not bad. 5 moves in 3 turns, even if you burn 2 tokens already. It's pretty good going.
So this was
And
new.
you
This was
hope to lose Gandalf here. I
Yeah,
guess.
so this is an
even and
interesting
hope for a
choice.
Will of the West.
Yeah, right. So he didn't lose Gandalf to the 1. He's taking 1 corruption. And one of the things you might do in this situation is you might want to lose Gandalf to make Strider Guide if you didn't have a character die to hide again. But because you have a character die to hide, it's not going to be a problem. And in terms of what would be better, there are 5 tiles that would be better to lose Gandalf to.
And the 2 are as well. So
Oh yeah, 6. You're right. Thank you. So 6 that
Nice.
are better, 4 that are the same, and 5 that will be impossible to lose Gandalf to. But since you don't have a Will of the West showing, I think it's okay to take the risk.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we get. A 3.
I think
Perfect.
So definitely, yeah.
So that was just great. All right. And a new power is rising.